So episode 1, right? Podcast to be named later.
Right.
Have we played the official theme music yet?
No,
Should we get into that right now? Should we make a final decision, and maybe if you're listening or watching, you can give us some feedback and y'all can vote on it?
All right. So we have a couple of tracks.
All by yours truly here, not me truly. But.
Yeah, I made a couple of songs that are just so I don't have to pay for,
You made a couple
songs
because you're you.
Because I'm bored. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So this is the one that I like the most for myself.
Just like in life, like this.
Just in life,
this is your theme song in life, or
yes, it's the theme song in life. I'll just put that. I don't know how good.
So this is number 1, option 1.
So obviously it's a little bit more hip hop. It's good, good intro track, nice little hip hop beat.
Does it encapsulate what we're trying to do here? I don't know. What are we trying to do?
It sounds pretty good when you're medicated.
Okay, fair enough. I like it.
All right, cool.
Next.
All right, so the other one was...
So it was option 1. We're going on to option 2.
And then... something a little bit more... dramatic.
Stranger Things 75. The kids are in a nursing home now. The Matrix.
Yeah, it's like a video game.
Like you're upbeat, Yeah.
Well, this is the intro, so it hasn't kicked off yet. It's about to.
Episode 1, trying to have some fun in here.
Episode.
There will be freestyle rapping.
Oh, yes.
There will be freestyle rapping.
Yes. And it will not be the first time it's actually happened.
You freestyle rap?
I have been known to do some stuff.
How tore up when you freestyle rap? You gotta be, we're missing the whole song, right?
Yeah, so let me just give you a clue. I renamed myself MC Dirk Diggler. I'm not going to be doing that on this podcast. Unless we have like a private room or something that we have for
my freestyle rap
Patreon.
is like, my freestyle rap is like fun, number 1, on the run. Like,
That's pretty good, right?
This is good.
This is more of like a break beat, and then we can get crazy, and then do. So this one.
I feel like it's a Kid Cudi, Pursuit of Happiness.
It's a good song.
It is a good song. It's one of my favorites. I like it. I think he's underrated.
That's a good thing. Is like with music, it makes you feel a certain way, and that's why I like those kind of happy songs. Like the happy song is like a great song. Makes you just feel good.
You can't listen to that song and not feel better, or at least have it take you to a time and place.
Yeah, that's true.
So we're on number 3.
Yeah. So this one's more of like a drum and bass kind of. It's nothing real special.
It's got the music, it's got the vocals in the back.
And then we can go into when it. I'm gonna fast forward into when it actually does the drop.
Is that like something in
Backwards.
What does she say?
The music is hypnotizing. So yeah, that's just a roller.
It's dope.
So anyways, those are the 3 ones.
Yeah.
You let us know in the comments what you like.
Which one do you like the best? Not to sway the
I think
three
just for the
listeners of this
overall,
podcast.
yeah. I think just for, yeah. And we're 2 of them.
Yeah. And my parents, or my dad, yeah. So
I
you,
would
what do
say
you think
just
is-
for the overall vibe, probably just the hip hop thing. That'll probably reach more people because that's kind of like the top kind of music.
You like
right?
number 1?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
just
I do
the
too.
just move. Just because it has that move to the rhythm as I groove to the beat kind of intro feel to it. Like we can use that as a drop, like move to the rhythm as I groove to the beat. And, oh, welcome to blah blah blah, that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
That'll work.
Okay, cool.
Podcast to be named later, but
That's right.
obviously we're in this for the fans.
Yes.
So
exactly.
we'll let the 3 fans decide. No, we're looking forward to it. So yeah, episode 1, podcast to be named later. I had a couple goals. I know you had a couple goals. We just wanted to go over a couple things.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, keep it hemp centric. We are live from Capel.
Yep.
I am Kyle Strubing, Big Kyle, aka the Big Essential, all that bullshit.
It's your boy, Big Kyle.
Yes, all that good stuff. And then
I'm Tyler Flaherty,
Tyler
the Bud Tender,
aka the Bud Tender, aka the Roaming Shaman.
That's right. That Roaming Shaman is very true.
aka our number one guy for sure. For sure. Yeah. So I mean, I guess the goal for me is to get some stuff out there.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of obviously I want to keep it hemp centric. I want to talk about shaman stuff. But I want to also kind of broaden our horizons, go into a couple different things, like business wise would be good to see, and kind of get into a lot of our other ventures and things that we're looking at doing. And then obviously create some type of knowledge. I'd like to drop a little knowledge so that people can tune in for that. And then I'm big into activism and stuff like that as well. So I want to kind of go over a couple things like that. But other than that, I mean, I think we'll go over some CBD 101 today.
Yeah.
Lay that down, go over some cannabinoids.
So
how about you go first? Tell me, I guess tell me a little bit about kind of what you're doing, your involvement in the industry, where you see yourself going, and then what are some things that you like to do, I guess. I mean, I know, but I would tell everybody kind of, because that's a whole bunch of your passion. What are your passions outside of work?
I mean, I'm a very passionate person, I guess, so I really get into things. I guess just a little bit about me, what kind of brought me into CBD is I'm a cancer survivor. So I had, 12 years ago, had testicular cancer. So, my gamer tag is Uno Baggins. So I like to make light of situations a lot and make fun of myself and all that kind of stuff. But obviously that was a coping mechanism. But no, really, I had cancer, and from the cancer, from chemo, it pulled out bipolar, and I was medicated for up to 10 years, and I got big and fat, and my knees were shot. I wasn't interested in physical kind of pursuits anymore, and being who I am as a person, that's not a good thing ever. It's not a good thing for most people, but for me especially, it's not a good thing. So what brought me in here was I was on those medications for a long time, and they were pigeonholing me into kind of just the medication hole that we all get pulled into because we think we need it.
Yeah.
But I got to the point where, my relationship with my wife, my relationship with my daughter, my relationship with absolutely everything was getting ruined because I didn't know, I didn't know who I was. I mean, hey, guess what? I was about to push 40. Guess what? You don't know who you are. It's midlife crisis. That's the way that happens.
So you didn't get a Harley.
I didn't get a Harley.
Instead, you came in.
Instead, I quit my job, which I was at a machine vision. So I worked with, robotics plants and, bottling plants and, military stuff. And so a lot of fun stuff. I got to see a lot of cool stuff, but I wasn't into it. It wasn't my passion. But I quit and became a dog trainer for a year and got to train probably like 30 or 40 dogs, just helping friends out and stuff. And it really kind of helped me get through a lot of times. And then I walked in here and figured out, oh my gosh, it's legal. And then it kind of clicked on me. I was like, I walked in here, I talked to Taylor, who was awesome.
R.I.P.
Shout out to Taylor.
Well, no, yeah, right.
Yeah, shout out to Taylor.
Taylor probably graduated to the big leagues.
I know. He went up to...
I meant to reach... I
Yeah.
was going to reach out to him the other day. I need
Well,
to be better
I bet
about
he'll
that.
come on here. It'd be
Yeah,
cool to
that's
zoom
fun.
him in. Because, I mean, he's part of this. He trained me. Taylor trained me.
Yeah, he's
Anyhow.
our first employee we ever had.
Yeah. But
No,
I came in
it was
here.
good. You knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
You talk about, we can get to some other passions, but one thing I want to dig in is, and at least for me, that thing about sharing, you share something, you're an open book. How did you, have you always been like that? How did you get there? What are some of the benefits that within what we do to be that open and upfront?
I honestly, the thing that I try to do for being an open book, I've always kind of been an open book. People have always found it easy to talk to me. I don't know. That's a gift, I guess. Yeah, I've always been like that. I've
Yeah.
always been like, I've kind of actually, that's one of the strengths that I've just been naturally gifted with, that people just, for some reason, want to tell me stuff. So people come into the store and tell me these like riveting life situations, and I'm sitting there going, I'm totally not qualified to answer anything you're saying right now. But because I care about the person.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I know that I contain knowledge in the cannabis plant, like this knowledge of this plant that we're talking about, this cannabis plant that we're both really interested in.
Yeah, for sure.
Has something that up to this point we've been lied to on a massive scale. And now people like me and people like you've known, but people like me and my wife and my family are going, okay, well maybe cannabis isn't so bad, because now I get in my parents' case, I get my son back. Like I'm a normal human being. In my wife's case, I get my husband back.
Sure.
Or hopefully a better version of,
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
obviously that's a work in progress, but, so when it comes to that, like, I want to have people feel comfortable when they come into the place. And the only way you can do that sometimes, and it's probably a coping mechanism too, but is to either make them laugh.
Sure.
Or to make them feel comfortable and rip down that first layer of guard where it's just like, hey, whatever. It's an icebreaker type thing.
Sure.
Like I want to bring people in, because it's nerve-wracking to come into a CBD store.
It is. They
for a beginner, for a non cannabis user.
It's overwhelming, I think. And it's getting better and better because I think it's more mainstream.
Yeah.
Have you ever had coffee breath? Have you ever had?
Yes,
You've had a customer cry in the store, right? Like like literally right there.
And
What do you think? Like a dozen people have cried at least. Like
it's a lot to take.
It's a ton. Yeah. It's no joke, dude. They come in, like, one thing I say, like, some people look at me like, yo, placebo, snake oil. I was like, all right, cool. Let's say everything we say, obviously it's not. Let's say all this is bullshit, right? At the very least, people walk out of here with hope. I think, right? I mean, and I think that carries, like, for me, that's been freaking huge.
This actually will pull this up. I mean, for us, like, reviews. Let's talk about reviews.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of things that really kind of, and let's just get right into it, because it kind of seems like this is going to flow into this. We were talking about sampling. We were talking about every customer that comes in. We're talking about this. If you are a CBD store owner or employee and you're not sampling, you're not selling.
Yeah, you might as well just take money and throw it in the garbage.
You're not. Yeah, that needs to be a part, I think, of your business plan, and you need to have that a regular. You have to spend money to make money. These people don't believe what you're saying just because you got a good smile.
Joanne and I did a talk at Texas Hemp Convention of, like, I think it was the 5 pillars on how to differentiate yourself in the hemp market. It was awesome. It was great. But a whole entire chapter is straight up on sampling. Yeah. Like customer experience sampling, like must have. So there's actual research, I don't remember off the top of my head, but it shows like the 3 exact reasons as to why a customer will come in as opposed to going online. And it's to touch, it's to taste, and it's to ask questions. It's like, if you're not doing that, man, it's just
that's
like,
101. That's 101.
I know Shaman teaches that and stuff, but I think as we try to, evolve and move away and do our own thing, like, I definitely think that even myself, I get away from it.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're pretty good. Every time I come in here, I see different stuff's opened up, and and that allows, and even so, like other, like some other products that you don't necessarily have, or non-shaman, I'll just call it how it is. To sample those, like, it gets them. It doesn't even really take anything away from what they're currently taking, right? So all it really does is just enable them to buy more stuff. Like when we got those. Well,
you used an example the other day about, like, the way you did it with like when you switch it up in your workouts, like with your body.
Yeah.
Like, how does that work with CBD? You said something about
that. And if you're either getting high or smoking weed or doing whatever, however you're using cannabis, I should say, you never want to get, like, this, you never go to the dealer or whatever and buy an ounce of weed and smoke it all of yourself.
No,
like
no.
you try to mix and match. Well, that's because, and then you know, as you smoke, the more you smoke, you just get used to it. So, but then once you smoke a different kind of weed,
Yeah.
you start to get those effects again. Well, that's your endocannabinoid system, like just on the regular, just going through the day. There's no chance. There's no.
Well, and the reason it does that, if I'm
you're
not
just shocking
mistaken,
that. You're just shocking that
right.
system.
And the reason that does that is because of the terpene profiles of each different strain,
for sure.
right? So
for sure, which we talk about a lot, and we should, if we want to spin it towards kind of CBD 101, tell me about, and you can go through, tell me about terpenes and the desired effects, and even like how to sell that stuff, or how, as a bud tender, you use that so people get, and really what it boils down to is a more effective. So how are you using that as a more effective way to help somebody
as
in
a
their
sales
CBD?
tool?
Well, in their not even a sales tool, but in their cannabis experience. Like, how do you make that better for them? Because I know what I've been.
Well, again, we're talking about when you come into as a first time user that's interested, you don't know anything about it. It's overwhelming. So first of all, it's just you gotta break it down into the smallest form you can. Okay, look, let's go over here. You see this bud? Everything you see in here comes from this flower. So just simplify everything, makes them takes all the takes all, oh my God, there's so much to choose from, because there is so much to choose from.
It's a lot.
It is a lot. But the reason it's a lot is because our bodies all respond to the cannabinoids differently. And they respond to cannabinoids differently based on your body, also based on the strain that you take, especially the strain you take. I mean, the cannabinoid profile is important, but the terpene profile,
I think, is more important.
It gives
personally.
Well, in hemp, it's 100%. That's how you sell hemp. It's because those are the the one
the markers for what it is. I mean, it's they're the markers for it. I mean,
well, it's the entourage effect.
Yeah.
I mean, explain the entourage effect.
Well, the entourage effect is the idea is God enabled us or wanted us to consume that plant as that. So as we continue to spin it and maneuver it and get it to go from something like that into like a tincture, not a tincture so much, but something that would be like an isolate or whatever that they put in the coffee. It just gets manipulated as well. And so the whole idea is, if you and I go there and have a party, it's okay. But if we all bring our friends and we all go together, another Taylor reference, we all go together, it's just that much better of a party.
Yeah.
Which definitely the entourage effect and stuff like that. But with the terps, like, that's why I'm real hesitant for, like, and I know we're jumping here, but I'm real hesitant on the D8 because just the desired effects. But especially for terps, like, when we sell Tangy as opposed to like an OG or like a Purple Kush or something like that, you don't want somebody smoke. Like, if somebody's like, it's important to know, like, how are you going to take this? Like, when do you use it? So I use it before I go to bed. Well, like, if you're a bud tender, you know what you're doing. You're an asshole if you give them Tangy. Like, you just don't know what you're doing. So, like,
well, that's the thing is brings us to another thing is like when you're a business owner and you're hiring people that are, cannabis people, right? Like, you're hiring people to work your store.
Sure.
Okay.
Or R1 yourself, or cannabis yourself.
Right.
Like,
if you don't understand, like, the way terpenes work in your body, the way terpenes work in your body personally.
Sure.
Because look, I mean, I've taken everything in the store pretty much. I mean, except for the suppository that's been sitting back there for like 2 years now.
We bought 2 of those. One person actually we've sold though. Yeah. Like, somebody bought them before. It was like,
hey, it's that kind of party. Whatever. No, I mean, but that's that just shows the scale of the products. So as a business owner, you have the responsibility is to bring products in that allow the salespeople to add on to the main ticket items and to up the sale per transaction. I mean, if you're a business owner, this is stuff that's important.
Yeah.
If you're a consumer though, what's important is this person giving me, first of all, right information, right? I mean, that's important.
Yeah.
Is it the up-to-date current information, or is this, pothead logic?
Right.
Because I don't know about you.
Bro science, basically, like bro science.
It's the potheads, the experienced potheads that have been smoking pot their whole life a certain way, and they think pot is pot is pot, and they don't understand the differences of just a little bit of limonene in one area,
Sure.
a little bit of pinene, a little bit of beta caryophylline, especially for
which is the difference in, which is legitimately the difference in something like the Tangy and stuff like that. It's just, and I think you hit on it correctly. Like, you want to provide these tools to your team members.
Yeah.
Like, you want to be able to do this due diligence. Like, you want to go, like when JoJo and I go into a dispensary or something in Colorado, it's all like, all right, man, I'm taking notes. And that's how that whole terpene thing kind of came up.
Yeah.
It was like, but
a menu type deal. Yeah.
A menu type deal, but then it also doesn't mean shit though, too. Like, you gotta have the horses too.
Yeah.
So like, if you sit there, it's very easy to talk over. It's kind of very easy to talk over them. So for me, it's being able to communicate what that is and what we're doing. Is always, I think, in any sale is probably the challenge, anyways. But yeah, it's So terps are great, man. I love them. We get in the terp game. It's definitely. I've gotten to the point now where I can smell it, and I'll have the customers. I'll have the customers smell it and be like, "Oh, okay," and I'll have them smell the difference in the two, and it's just like I know that like some of those stores have those glass cubes that people can they'll like cool. Fart in the air and they kind of that's pretty.
Yeah, those are really cool, and that reason that's cool is because it's novel. It's like the whole thing with.
But it can also be functional though too.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like especially if you use terpenes, like. Yes, it's novel and this is dope, but being able to like use that, like, yo, smell this and then smell this.
Yeah. Do you see the difference?
To see the difference, you're going to
Let
feel
me tell you
different.
what that is.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
And that's education, So like,
it's the reason why people will come back too.
Yeah.
Because you didn't tell them, because you didn't give us, oh shit, I smoked this this pre-roll or whatever, and I stayed up for 3 hours, like. Dude, that guy's not coming back.
Well, there are certain questions that us as bud tenders or even just regular, any employee that operates or is in a CBD store is, okay, what is your experience with cannabis thus far?
Sure.
If we're not asking these questions as bud tenders.
Which is a lot better question too than, hey bro, do you smoke weed?
Yeah. You got to do it. Which
is really, with the crux of it is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean.
How high have you gotten before?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, basically, no, but really it is, it's, because we care about the customer, we want to give them that good.
Or selfishly, you want the guy to freaking come back, man.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, but I honestly want them to have a good experience.
And the most fun, and you're right though, the most fun are the people that come in and try the different stuff, and they're fans. They're fans. They're not customers, and that's.
So I'll just give you an example. I'll give you an example of this story that happened the last day I worked in here, last Monday. A lady came in and she was in a lot of pain from arthritis, and we got to talking, and she was in pain. She was a runner, so her and I we had a lot to talk about. I was telling her about my running and what I'm doing, and we just started talking and getting into it, and I just told her again the open book thing, because I felt that she was so anxious when she came in. So first of all, I gave her a sample. Boom.
Yeah.
Because
check.
As that comes through the door, that's the best way we can help these people. If you believe in your product, and I honestly, I believe.
Freaking water soluble is the best thing in the world to sample. It shit works so fast. It's the best thing in the world to sample.
Yeah, it really is. And honestly, I use it every day.
Yeah, no, I do too.
I use it every day, but I also use
we use an oil base, and we use
and again, because I want to make it good for my body, and it's not going to always know what goes on. Anyways, we're rambling here.
Yeah.
So let's talk about plans for the show. What's the intent? What are we doing here?
Well, I mean, I think stuff like this, if we could get it a little bit more organized, that would be nice, because it's some gold. Hopefully people will listen in the business.
Find some value in it. Yeah.
Find some freaking value, man. Maybe have a laugh. Maybe and then learn something.
Well, we definitely want to rep our projects that we're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the American Shaman Coppell, this is where we're at right now. This is where, he works and I work, and, he owns. And so we've been at least me for the last
We've
2
been
years.
in here.
We've been all up in this business. All up in this
We've been
business.
here for almost 2 years, man.
But
we got this.
I
got stuff.
You got
I got
stuff.
things. I got things.
You got some shit cooking.
We got, yeah, I mean, so we got this dump. No, I'm kidding. Love this store.
Yeah, it's the best.
But we got the float tank, so the float on, which one day we'll get into. I'd like to dig into that for a little bit.
It's been a huge thing in my life. Huge.
Yeah, it's good.
Huge.
It's real good. I went in pretty deep Friday night, dude.
Yeah.
Got at it pretty good Friday night here in the old tank. That was good. So we love that. I think that's great. Definitely. I mean, I could talk about it for 2 hours, so I don't even start. But yeah, we got the floats. If you want to book a float, let me know. We got the kombucha going.
Yeah, that's a big hit. You know, the reason
That's
it's a big
awesome.
hit is because a ton of people are dealing with that stomach stuff. And
How
the
much-
thing about the kombucha is it like that's like a
Dude,
natural
how much health
probiotic.
that they drive through your gut health, like your gut biome is like.
Well, I had acid reflux from the chemo. The chemo fried my lungs. Just
Really?
yeah, it
It's
was
your esophagus, isn't it? Does it
yeah,
burn
esophagus
shit
or
there?
whatever it was. Yeah, again, not very
I
smart.
had heartburn. I had heartburn.
But
yeah, but no,
kombucha on a daily basis completely.
Do you
took it
drink?
away.
I can't drink that much. You don't drink that much.
No, I
do
only
you?
drink like a little. Like I have a little
12, 8
juice
to 12
glass.
ounces. Yeah.
Yeah, not
yeah,
even
no,
that,
we
like
got the we
6 ounces.
redid the whole kombucha program.
Yeah.
So like the whole thing is different.
Yeah.
We're in with American Shaman with it.
Yeah.
So it's freaking water soluble. It's
Dope.
It's on point. The distro on it is freaking killer. I just
Can't say enough about it. Yeah.
it's
Plus,
bomb.
it's delicious.
It's good.
Yeah.
There's a pineapple super greens. So I always say it's a 3-in-1. You get the kombucha, you get the CBD, and you get a serving of greens.
No.
Shit has spirulina in it. I like it. I think it's better than the blueberry. So we got that.
Now, are there any like side effects? Because I know when I eat, because I mean, look, the kombucha is so good, you just want to drink it. Like
No, you can't. You don't want to drink too much of it.
that'll go right through you.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll go right through you, but
Chocolate.
Yeah,
It's
nah.
doo-doo, baby.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll go right through you. I just, it's so it's so strong.
Yeah.
It's almost like
But that blueberry one we had.
you like the blueberry the best. If you had to choose,
I don't know. We had what? We had the watermelon. That was a
we had
couple times ago.
watermelon for
Yeah.
a minute. Yeah, we had the lemon.
Yeah, the ginger lemon.
Ginger lemon
that
was-
was the.
That
by
was
far,
tight.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was.
Anyways, yeah. We can talk about kombucha all day because look, it's
was
really
good.
good. We have people who literally drive from
Well,
Waxahachie to come here
Yeah, to get flour
to
and
get
kombucha. Yeah.
flour and our kombucha.
Yeah.
So
It's getting more. It's getting more and more. It's getting in a bunch of other shamans now.
Yeah,
Now that we're able
exactly.
to get it. Now that we're able to get it going. So
um,
that's a cool thing. And then last is the vending machines.
yeah.
So that's still going. That's still an ongoing thing.
Well, you got to explain that idea because
No, it's a full on. It's like if you had this store except without rent and having to pay somebody or you being there yourself. It's
good idea.
and for COVID, it's been perfect. It's just it's an investment. I mean, it's not like a $50,000 investment like it is to open a store or anything like that.
So what
but
you do
it's-
is you actually get a machine.
No, it's like a freaking red box, man. It's a full on. It's has this monster touch screen on it, and you don't even need to touch it. But you could go up and fill your order right there, and it'll drop it for you. It's
Now,
ID
is there an app?
verification, yeah, whole nine, dude.
Oh man.
It's killer. Or you just walk up. It's like a red box, but it has like full on movies. Like we did something and have like. You can have like videos with Vince talking or something
Yeah.
like that, or you if you wanted to buy one or own, or
Yeah.
you could sit there and it like automatically upsells it. Like the technology on it is like to call it a vending machine, just like totally devalues
It's like a
it.
smart vending machine.
It's like a
to say the
smart
least.
dispensary. It's like a
Cool.
smensory.
Dispensary.
Dispensary. But no, it's cool. It's cool. I'm excited. It's definitely so like. It solved like all the problems. I don't want to say problems, but like our biggest challenges here, our biggest expenses here. Like it knocks all of them out.
Yeah.
Rent, payroll, like boom,
Yeah.
done. You don't even have to fuck with that. You don't even have to mess with that.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I've tried not to say the F word.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's that, and then that's pretty much it. I just need to focus and get that stuff rolling. What about you? What are your other projects besides working at every shaman ever now, telling everyone my damn secrets?
I tell nobody your secrets.
That's true.
Except for the water. No, yeah, I am. I'm working. It was actually really kind of a cool story the way that happened, because I thought I was going to have to go back into my old industry
to make a living.
Make a living, and I mean, all the owner operators they're shaman owners, they need people because they have to have a life.
What?
Yeah, being an owner operator, what I've found is there's a need for people who are trusted, that can be left with your store and be treated exactly
and
the way
guarantee that it's not gonna, that the sales aren't gonna fall off the table, exactly. The place isn't gonna burn down. Yes, there's a big need for that.
One of the ideas that I had was to cultivate young talent now that we can kind of instill that work ethic that I have, and the work ethic is not work ethic. It's because I'm bipolar and I can't stop moving, and so I'd rather be constructive with it,
Or at least you mean more in the sense of providing them skills,
exactly.
You're either I think you're just freaking born with work, right? I mean, I can't I learned it. I can't tell you to show up on time. You did.
Yeah, the Marines.
In the military? All right. Or going to the other born with it, or you're in the military and you get it, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. It beats the shit out of you.
It is what it is. It's a lot easier if I just do it this way.
Yeah, I think that turned me into a man, in a very brainwashy way, but it did, for sure. I mean, I cannot tell, I have so many stories. We are going to get
stories.
Into lots of stories, because if there's veterans hopefully watching this and wanting some relief from cannabis, first of all, you can get it.
Yeah.
100%. Second of all, that's a really huge part of my heart, and this is a cool thing too. So the other thing is, besides all the education and all that kind of stuff, I want to do something with veterans.
We have to. Yeah. We had talked about some type of support group or something, either at the store or.
Yeah, because the 22 push-up thing, I get that. The good thing on social network, but I want literal boots on the ground here in this store or here and wherever.
I just don't know, and I just if we sit there and obviously we support the vets. Yeah. I mean, but where do we provide value, or how do we? To me, it's
well, maybe we provide the location for them to actually have support meetings.
That's what I was thinking, but with that
well, and we can provide,
Would somebody take advantage of that? I don't know. Or they just go to the VFW?
I bet they would. No, I bet they would, because VFW is a good place though, and that's pretty well established.
Don't they get wrecked there? Don't they all drink it up there?
They do, yeah. And that for I like bars. I like that environment. I enjoy that, but I don't like going there often. First of all, it's a bad environment because I used to drink quite a bit. Yeah. But and I still enjoy beer. I love beer actually. But I don't get shitty anymore.
But where would somebody who doesn't drink? Is there a outlet for somebody who doesn't drink for a vet, and even locally?
Yeah, you'd have
because I'd want to definitely just provide some freaking value, help people out. Yeah. It's one thing to say you do it, and the other to actually
Yeah, I don't know. I know that's a good question.
I know all those, a lot of those cannabis guys.
Yeah.
Are kind of big into that and stuff. So maybe I'll reach out and see. That's not a bad idea. But yeah, no, I think the education too for the bud tenders.
Yeah. Well, the people, and that's what I wanted to get back to is all the people that are. If you hire somebody, you have to know that they know what they're talking about, or at least they're working their butt off to learn.
They got to know what they're talking about. They can't say some dumb shit.
Yeah, but get in trouble. People do make mistakes, but this is what people don't understand is we need to put not the fear of God, but look, we are responsible for. Let's just be real, for lives. It's not not like that, but what I'm saying is
claims and all that shit though, you can't.
No, we can't make claims.
You can't. Though, but
our customers do.
People need to know that though. That's an employee needs to know how to be able to communicate. We don't make claims, but we're talking. Yeah. We're telling them what the deal is.
Sure.
You know, when there's an art form to that, and obviously you have to have some type of knowledge and then some type of sales skill.
We have to know what we can't say, for sure.
Especially now though, because we all got to be licensed. Like each individual location has to be licensed with the smokable hemp ban and stuff.
There's a good segue.
Yeah, that went into effect August 2nd, and like I don't get it. Like so HB 1325 was passed last May, not this, but the May before this past one, and it was basically, well, what it is the ban on smokable hemp. Yeah. So like all the flower, pre-rolls essentially are, you know, the vapes are gone. Yeah. Pre-rolls, anything, and you can read the statute and all that stuff, and I have, but it's like the crux of it is this: I can't sell that flower as a smokable. It falls on me, like it's legal to possess. We've always been on the up and up. We've always been above board. We've had our labeling and everything is on point, and we've just pivoted a little bit in that. But it's like, for me, you know, making a bigger deal on this, like, why the shit are we headed back the backwards. Other way? Like why? Like,
well, what did you do about it? Like you.
Well, so what they did is we all got together and they put some money together and they ended up hiring Chelsea Spencer, a bunch of the other people, a bunch of the other store owners. Yeah. I mean, like Texas Hemp Group did it, a whole bunch of other people. Like we just got it out, tried to raise as much money as we can. Mm-hmm. So they went and they filed an injunction, which I guess they're supposed to be a response to now, and that's so that was Ritter Spencer Law Firm, and they're big down in Dallas. We hired her, Chelsea, before we opened this place. Yeah. So we had a previous relationship, and I knew like she's all about it. So she's going to try. She's working for some manufacturer that's footing the vast majority of this bill, but but this suit. But they're trying to get in based off of like interstate commerce. Yeah. It wasn't they're obviously trying to prove damages now is where most of that expense comes from, because they have to be able to, for me to sue you civilly, I have to be able to prove some type of damage. Right. And that's kind of what they're doing. So it's like, Kyle's store does $100,000 a month. I wish if they did $100,000 a month and 25,000 of that was flour and 25% of my store total revenue, and then they have to kind of go through and develop all
which is an absolute valid.
It is,
absolutely valid.
But it's with all the experts and all of this and all of that, like it's a huge freaking expense. Yeah. So they're going in and they're trying to fight that and they're trying to do that. So the smokable hemp ban, when you come into the stores now, you can have it. It just cannot be marketed as smokable. So you can use it to cook, to do all types of stuff. And you and I will go into a lot of that too. I'd like to do that. Try to go over a couple of different recipes. Yeah. Maybe to try to help to use that. Because you could take it, whatever you do with it, once you leave my store is entirely up to you. But I got to make sure I don't market it and say here smoke or whatever. Exactly.
But there's like a grace period, right?
So there's a grace period. So whatever's in my inventory I can sell and get rid of, and that's fine. Right. But moving forward, and we have to act as if now. Yeah. Moving forward, everything I have to have is lab reported, all that jazz, and it has been anyway. So that's not that big of a deal. But it's just the marketing of it, like the lighters and stuff, all that got to go. Like you just got to be real careful with it. And there's a loophole to it, but it's just like, for me, it's like, what are we doing right now? Like economic shit aside, like we should be moving further towards medical.
Exactly.
Which is a joke.
Well, and so that brings us right into the what federally, is there anything like the whole Kamala Harris thing?
Kamala Harris.
Sorry, Kamala.
The senator out of California, it's Biden's VP. Like, if we'll talk political all day, but we'll talk politics regarding him. So I always, whenever I go on, I look it up. Like, all right, sure, she's a Democrat.
Well, let's make that clear.
Yeah. Political system, my point of view is whatever's going to help the plant, or at least to educate you on whatever's going to help the plant. You vote how you want to vote, but
we have to vote issues.
So for me, it's like, where is this? Like, I'll give somebody a second look if like you're all about hemp or you're all about So it's. You do you, this is a hemp-based thing. But so Kamala Harris she has this, I'm going to read this, but it's called the MORE Act of 2019. And she got some big heat because she was part of a bill that literally incarcerated people for low-level marijuana crimes, this, that, and the other. And it just got to be, she's taken a ton of heat for it, and that's fine. I get it. We can change. So in 2019, she actually was the head sponsor of a bill. It's called the MORE Act of 2019. MORE stands for Marijuana Opportunity, Reinvestment, and Expungement Act of 2019. And this is, you can read the bill, like, they have these websites that will show you all over, like, what the actual bill is. And the whole point of it, and on the top of it, is to decriminalize and deschedule cannabis to provide for reinvestment in certain persons adversely impacted by the war on drugs, and to provide for expungement of certain cannabis offenses and for other purposes. So, like, what it's trying to do is deschedule it, so it's not like a class 1 federally.
And why was it scheduled in the first place?
Shit,
like,
because of politics, man. And
but
it's just like this old school.
A lot of people don't realize what scheduling means. So if you're a Schedule 1 drug, that means there is no medical benefit.
Fucking benefits. There's no medical benefits, which is horseshit.
Yeah.
It's absolute horseshit.
Yeah.
And it's like, you cannot say that. And so she has this bill that was introduced in like May of 2019.
Yeah.
I was reading, and it's August of 2020 and it hasn't gone anywhere. It's just sitting there. I don't know.
But the point is,
the score was like, it had a 6% chance of actually going through, and I'm like, man, what are y'all doing? But it's something to keep in mind. It's something you'll probably hear as we get closer to the election. Vote, like I said, vote for whoever the hell you want to. I don't care, but like, I think I would like to educate, or at least know,
because
like,
people who care about these issues, like myself, if cannabis takes a step backwards, and all of that happens, it affects me because cannabis is my medicine. I don't take anything else.
Yeah, it's your medicine. It's your freaking way of life. It's your. I mean,
it's the way that we make money. Like, I'm a bud tender.
Food on my table, dude. Like, yeah. It means a ton, and you should be, as a fan of cannabis. These should be, at least for me, these are issues that mean a lot to me. If you're a fan, I mean, think about like, if your mom or dad gets sick or something, and are you going to move to Chicago so you're in a rec state, or
exactly.
And I know, and we'll leave it at this, but like, I know Biden is big, like, states' rights. He doesn't want anything to do with it, so he kind of puts it off on the states, which I also believe Trump is the same way.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was kind of the deal with the CARES Act, and then it was funny. I wrote something down, but it actually, like, how old the original statute is like, they call it marijuana, Marihuana.
Marijuana. Yeah, they didn't know how to spell back then.
But that was the whole point, right? Like, when we do that CBD 101 class, we show that reefer madness bullshit, and it's like, some of those people are like in office, like,
yes,
like Dan Patrick and all that, like, some of those fucks are in office. It's like, are you kidding me right now?
Yeah, and it
like,
seems.
Why don't we have a medical program? Like, I don't know, we do, but like, why don't we have a legit medical program?
Look, if you're going to give the public access to medicine, you need to give the public access to medicine, not just 4 or 5 different things.
Yeah, that was such bullshit. Or at least make it expanding.
Exactly. But you know what? I think.
Like, did it not prove that it's working? Like, because if it wasn't working, you would have shut it off anyways. Like, I don't understand. It's working for the epilepsy patients and all those little small percentage who actually can get it here. Like,
you know what I'd like to get?
Expanding in that.
I would like to get an owner of a Oklahoma dispensary.
We could do. I don't know, people.
But what I'm saying is, maybe we could, like, get their point of view and see how that's working, because if we could get that information here in Texas, maybe that would help.
It's an entirely different legal structure here. That's the unfortunate part. Like, we go back to the state senate and all that stuff reconvenes like in May this year of 2021. So it's like, we have to wait so long, and then, like, there was a super majority, and freaking Patrick killed it. Like, the guy has way too much power. I don't know how you repeal that power, but I think as we progress, like, I want to kind of go in and, not call out some politicians, but we'll go through local areas and say, hey, where are you? Where is your local rep, or who even is your local rep? Where are they at? And I'd be happy to kind of stalk somebody out once a week and just at least say, hey, like, here's who we got to look at, and this is how they feel, and that's because that shit's what it takes, man. Like,
it does, yeah. Well, and there are people that are already doing that, and I think the good thing about it is that you're doing that, they're doing that. If we all kind of get together and like do a joint effort,
or just different people, man, we just keep hearing more voices, louder, more voices, a louder voice, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
let's. What about?
We had real quick, bro. We had this girl and she had COVID. I mean, she wasn't here. She was in gloves and everything, and I actually did a curbside for her, but like, she said that like she had real bad lung pain because of COVID, like flat out had COVID. Like, she said she took the water soluble and it helped her lungs.
Really?
Yeah, she's like, it freaking helped my lungs big time.
And you know what's great?
Dude, you see, I was like, it helped for COVID. I was like, you're bullshitting me.
Yeah, but the good thing is our customers can say that to our other customers. We can't say shit like that.
Yeah, I know, but I was just
like... But man, it's like, but you
It's inflammation though, right? Yeah. I mean, why wouldn't it?
Makes sense.
I mean, it's not like it prevented COVID. She had it, but she was like, dude, I legit started taking it and I automatically felt better in my lungs.
See, that's the biggest thing is like, nobody really knows anything what's going on about this COVID stuff. So it's like, my whole thing is like with politics and stuff, that honestly... Politics bums me out.
It's freaking exhausting.
So much. Like it just it sucks all of the energy and life out of me, and it just makes me unhappy. So I try to steer away from that and let people who understand it better than me, because I don't understand.
But it's never about their issues though. That's the problem now. It's all about, we're talking about, who this person is or whatever they are, not like based on how these people have voted, how will they vote in the future? Like what are we talking about? So I think why that's important to know. But yeah, man. Like,
and I'll be the person that chimes in as the everyman who doesn't know what the hell I'm talking about when it comes to politics. I really don't know anything. But what we do know about is different ways to use cannabis in your diet, and like we were talking about butter earlier, and what I'm doing, I'm training for an ultra marathon. I ran my first trail unsupported marathon at Ray Roberts Isle du Bois last week. That means I went out by myself and I had my own food and water and all that kind of stuff. But I ran my first marathon. It was a 6.5 hour effort, but I finished it. I had to change my shoes twice. Anyhow, the reason I say all that is because if you're running the amount of miles that I'm running, putting any burnt plant matter into your lungs, I can feel. Like I can feel. But I can cough it out, blah blah blah. It makes me whatever.
It's not optimal.
It's not optimal for ultra marathon runners to be smoking. So I've been learning different ways at taking it. Of course, edibles. The problem is, of course, the cost factor with the edibles, because I have a very high tolerance when it comes to edibles.
Yeah, you do.
Very high tolerance. And I don't want to get, I don't want to get high like that. Like I'm not doing it for that reason. I had to reevaluate my relationship with the plant itself, because I was abusing it my whole life. I was just a pothead. Now I'm using it for medicine, and I'm using it in a way that's going to help me accomplish a goal. And I think that's kind of the mature way to look at the plant. Like, this is a supplement. The end.
Yeah.
This is a supplement. You eat carrots because they have vitamin whatever. That is good.
D's nuts.
Yeah, a dis nut, you mean? Anyways.
What else are you dude, like, you're not young.
No, I'm 42.
Like, what is your supplement regimen? Like,
it's been a journey.
What are you taking? Yeah, no shit. You always have something new or something different. Tell me.
Yeah, for the last year, it's been the same though. It's been. I've been really consistent.
You eat the shit out of those. I know that.
But yeah, first of all, obviously the CBD is a big thing. So the omega-3 that American Shaman has, and we'll put a link in the description so that you can come to our store and you can actually order it online. But what this does is, again, CBD is all about absorption. Yep. So when we make the oil, we obviously press it from the flowers, put the, blah, blah, blah. We make the oil. The issue is it's oil, and your body is mostly water, right? So we all know oil and water don't mix.
Right.
So it's just basic science. When it goes in your body's extremely efficient through your kidneys and your liver to get about 70% of that oil. About 70% of that oil, if you're lucky. No. You're losing about 70% of that oil.
Okay, right.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
I mean, give or take the oil. Our cloud is a little different. You know, we have good brands that blah, blah, blah. Everyone's different. It's all about absorption. This, because of the omega-3, the fatty acids in the, not fatty asses, but the fatty acids in the
WAP.
In the omega-3s in the fish oil actually help the CBD, the cannabinoids, and all the terpenes absorb into the body much better. I'm not sure exactly what rate. I know it's better than oil in itself. Not quite as good as the water soluble, which is at like what, 90%? Something like some crazy percentage. But this lasts longer than the water soluble.
Yeah, because there's a fat with it.
Because there's a fat with it, so it's fat soluble.
That stuff's dope. I love it. I think it's cool. Which I wish. I mean, we probably should push it more, but it's in those core omegas, it's just a badass product. It's just a badass product.
Well, the absorption factor is just, and plus we know where the fish comes from. It's from small, farms, and there's low mercury content. So all the concerns that people would have about fish oil or whatever, just all
core omega nails that. Yeah. They're good.
So I take this and I use this. Actually, they come in these little pouches.
You pack with them. Yeah,
So in my run vest, like when I go on really long runs, I'll carry 2 of these with me. And once, I took it about 2 hours in and then about 4 hours in. And it really, really helped my knees, and it helped the inflammation, and, I'm sure the omega-3 did wonders too. The issue I did find one time is that if you take more than 2, that fish oil, if you already have a high fish oil diet, like if you're taking omegas and stuff, that'll lube you up pretty good.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, which actually might be a good thing if that's what you need to do. So this is one of the things I take. The other thing is I take the what is that called? The animal stack. The multivitamin that all the beefcakes used to take back in the day. I actually read the ingredients. It's really good. I mean, I'm sure there's a bunch of...
It's been good.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff in there. People are like, oh, blah, blah, whatever. Look, I have one ball, okay? I need all the help I can
talk
get.
about your ball.
They're
balls that no. It's hard knowing that.
You said hard. We were talking about balls and you said hard. But the mycelium powder, Stamets 7. So I watched the JRE, the Joe Rogan podcast everyone knows about, and Paul Stamets came on there and just blew my mind because, he helped keep his mom alive from cancer, and I was still recovering from cancer when I was kind of listening to that, and it took me a while to really figure out what it was. But anyways, you can get them in pills or powders. I have them in the powders right now, and I take that every day, and it's for just overall wellness, it's
like immunoboosters.
Immunoboosters, exactly. So I don't understand the science at it, and you'd have to listen to that podcast to really get.
Yeah, mushrooms are. It
sparked the interest.
Yeah, it's starting to come around, man.
And just reading what lion's mane mushroom does, and reishi mushrooms, and all these turkey tail mushrooms, all these things that we're starting to see pop up. Well, it made such a huge difference for me. I don't get really sick anymore. My it has a lot to do with my diet and stuff, because I totally changed that. I just changed everything. I scrapped my life the way I was doing it. Like, okay, that sucks. That didn't work. Look at me.
You didn't do all that shit at once.
No. It took me a year and a half. It took me 8 months to get off of all my meds. It took me, and I really tapered. I was very diligent, and I wrote it down and everything. But I started taking the mushrooms because I kept getting sinus infections because of the allergies. And I started taking that and then eating different and stuff, and that cleared it out. I mean, I haven't had a sinus infection in a while. Breathing exercises, I mean, that's a huge, huge part of my routine.
So it's literally ground mushrooms though, right?
Yeah.
It's
mycelium powder. So there's 7 different mushrooms. It's a 7 different mushroom blend that he made specifically. He's this awesome scientist. And I guess he gave it to his mom, and it like really helped her. And the details are.
I heard it's huge.
You know, it's huge. But for me, it gave me energy. I haven't got sick since I started taking it. Like really, like I mean, it's been. And when I say that, I don't mean like a regular cold or something like that. But I just feel better. I feel like I have more energy. So there's something to that, which brings us to that product.
Yeah, that jaw shit. I was looking at that. It was pretty cool.
Shout out to
Jaw Roots.
Jaw Roots mushroom thing.
Yes.
That the product was it caught my eye first of all.
Yes.
And then it caught a bunch of other people's eyes, and like I contacted the guy. I was like, I gotta figure it out.
I think it's kind of like a next. I think it's another complimentary.
Yeah.
You know, I mean.
Wellness. Yeah.
Yeah, because truthfully, right? This is that's what we're in. We're in the wellness business. I know we sell kratom.
Yeah. Hold on a second. Let me get some water.
Yeah.
Actually, let me get a stoked. Or do you want to do?
I don't think you want to drink a stoked.
No, I'm gonna do a turmeric. I need that for my knee.
That stoked is.
Did you try the birthday cake one?
Fucking raw.
Horrific. But it works.
It's horrible.
It works.
JoJo said it's horrible. It's horrible.
All right, so
sorry, customers. Sorry, but no, it's bad.
Yeah, I talked to the. I'm telling you, those stoked people are on fire. Their salespeople
they're killing it. The guys are great, and people buy them all the time. And I dude, cool. Yeah. I'm a Red Bull guy. I'll drink sugar-free Red Bull. I'll drink a normal Bang. I'll drink a C4. Like if I want to get real weird, but that was just. Oh,
honestly,
I don't know if it was a CBD or what.
The best energy that I've had in an energy drink is the Kill Cliff. That Ignite.
The Kill Cliff Ignites are good.
They're so good.
The Kill Cliff Ignites are good. The other ones are because the original Kill Cliff was
rehab.
If I'm not mistaken, exactly recovery. That's how I started getting into them. Those are great. Those are great. They make a CBD one, I know, right?
Turmeric. It's delicious.
Is it though?
Oh, I love it. Yeah, it's so good.
With you like the ginger?
Yeah, I'm a huge ginger fan though. Like I just love the taste of it. Plus, it's the ginger and the turmeric is so good for anti-inflammation.
Do you like it because it tastes good?
Yeah.
Or do you like it because it makes you feel good? Because you know how good it's going to make you feel.
That's a question.
Yeah, right. I mean, shit.
I mean, I guess I had to get used to beer too. So.
Yeah.
And I love the taste of beer now. Like love it. I love it. But with this, the reason I drink this is I'll drink this after a really long run, because the turmeric, whatever they have in there,
that's with
CBD
inflammation and stuff too.
Absolutely.
It? Yeah, that's an inflammation power.
Here is a recovery powerhouse. Come here, do after my long run or whatever. Get a float, get all relaxed, shower off.
Shower your ass off first. We'll give you sweaty ass.
Exactly.
Tank.
Come see Brandy and get the like some sort of detox or whatever she magic does back there, and then get some CBD and then go and get a massage or something. That's what we need, a masseuse in here, like a real one.
Yeah. I mean, sure, we can. It's
they massage your cock for money.
No. There'll be no massaging of cocks for money. Now, I mean, yeah, it's hard to keep people in here though, like that. Like it's hard to, without steady business, you know. Yeah. I mean, I don't think masseuses, I don't think massage therapists are.
I'm not talking for customer. I'm talking about for me. I need a massage, dude. I'm
talking about if you're to get one in here, we gotta throw them some.
Yeah, some bread.
It's hard. You've seen it, man.
Yeah, it's hard.
You've seen it. I mean, so we did. I like the Jaw Roots. I would like to try it. I think.
Yeah. I'm waiting until my mycelium powder runs out, which I have another 2 days, and then I'm gonna order it direct. He has like coupon codes and stuff. So if you want to get him, it's Texan Herbaceuticals is what the guy that I got it from. That's doing it. It's the same guy who does the Cool Beans, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure it is. So, anyways, but the guy's really, I mean, he's good. He gives good prices and stuff. So,
because the stack is pretty good. That's definitely interesting. You know, because honestly, like I know the store says CBD, but like who gives a shit if you feel better? If I can make somebody feel better,
Yeah.
and I sell them CBD or I sell them,
Well, it was that camphor oil we were talking about.
yeah, freaking camphor oil.
I mean, that's crazy. I had a guy come in the other day, yesterday, and when I was in Grapevine, and he was trying to sell us this salve or whatever, and it was really whatever. Packaging was really good. It was like a almost like a. You remember the Brute deodorant, the round ones?
Yeah.
It was a little version. Yep.
Yeah, I remember that. That was cool.
And that the labeling was on point. It looked really good. The presentation looked really good. The issue, the guy who was coming in didn't know anything about it, and so that I knew that right away. He didn't tell me it didn't have CBD in it, so I looked like a jackass trying to find the labeling, trying to figure out
the QR codes.
Yeah.
And shit.
So
yeah.
I mean, so my question was, why are you coming into a CBD store? But then I was like, well, he's here. I'm going to try it. So I tried it, and we start talking, blah, blah. I start, pitching him, well, why don't you use our stuff and we put it in there? That kind of stuff. Just trying. But in like 5 minutes, my knee, and keep in mind, this was the day after I ran, I don't know, like 5 miles or something like that. So it wasn't a whole lot, but it's only like 4 days since I ran my trail marathon. So I'm hurting, my knee's hurting, and it starts making it feel better, and there's no CBD in it, there's no nothing in it, and so I'm going, man, this stuff works really good. So I sent it to you just to see what you thought about it and everything. And
it's camphor oil.
Yeah. Well, it's got this huge array of, like, it's got rosemary and like a bunch of other crazy stuff in it too.
Yeah.
Smells amazing. So
And
stuff
really, if you're
like
a customer, like, who gives a shit as long as it makes you feel
Yeah.
better? Yeah, I know you go into a CBD store looking for CBD, but like,
at
at a certain point in time, CBD's just got to be an ingredient.
So if you want
At least that's
CBD,
my
we have
feeling.
CBD for you. But if you want wellness, let's try a stack. What makes you feel good? So like exactly
Yeah.
with the mushroom. The reason I added the mushroom is because it made me, it filled a hole I think that my diet wasn't providing maybe. And I'm just guessing. I have no idea. But
Almost like a complete supplement or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
here's an
Because
idea.
I thought it would get fucking around with nootropics.
I was just going to say that.
I'm hot into that.
Yeah.
Because I do take the Alpha Brain, and one thing about cannabis usage, well, the biggest knock I think is, I can wake up foggy the next day. Sometimes.
You can with cannabis?
Yeah.
Really?
The next day I can wake up.
But you're a sativa smoker though.
That's true.
So
I'll wake up a little. So the Alpha Brain really kind of
mellows that out a little bit.
takes it. I mean, it just turns it up and focuses it. It really does, and kind of knocks a lot of that out.
Really?
Intermittent fasting, I've heard. Well, when I did that, really did that. But
Intermittent fasting?
Yeah,
Yeah.
took out like all head fog, and you were like
That's part of
freaking
how I
nails
lost
all
a
the
lot
time.
of that weight.
Don't get me wrong though. Like by 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I want to eat my own arm off. So it's just like not very, at least for me. But that really helped. And we were thinking about doing a brand, honestly.
I think it's a good idea. I mean, because if we
I
can
don't know,
go
I mean,
into, think about this idea. So I'm running, obviously I'm those goo packets, right?
Yes.
But I'm also using this, right? So what if we were to create something? The problem with the goo packets is it's so much sugar, and it's you can't subsist off that. So what if we were to make some sort of a packet that actually had some sort of like nutrition from rice, getting the carbs from the rice or the potatoes, but then has the omega-3s in there, and also for the good oils or maybe olive oil or something like that, good fats in there for that, but then has good sugars from whatever.
That is stevia in it.
Stevia, yeah. That's just for flavor.
Yeah.
But
it would have to be, the price point would be the issue, right? As you continue to add those primo ingredients. That would be at least, not to poo-poo anything, but
no, you'd have to cook down like to make some sort of like a
you would have to
liquid rice, like almost horchata kind of thing.
I just sell the stuff, man. I don't make it. I know, I know a lot of those guys, but yeah, it would be.
I made the butter with the Durban Post. Yeah. That so the Durban Post. Well, the stuff you had was the